All right. Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to the gathering room at the Village Green Lodge and Sunset Pizza here in Ephraim, Wisconsin. This is a special show. We're going to talk all about fear ball. Fear ball, you say? What in the world is fear ball? Well, we're going to outline it here with Kelsey Stone, who's part of the organizational aspect of getting it all squared away and up and running. She's with the Ephraim Business Council. So we're going to talk to Kelsey in just a minute, but let's jam out for a second or two. Beautiful day here in Ephraim. Actually, it's been, frankly, a little too hot for me. I had to turn some AC on. It's gotten pretty hot. Feels like summer, and it's only the first day of June. Hard to believe. If I had my way, I'd be in your town. I might not stay, but at least I would have been around. 'Cause there's something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Does this make sense? And does it matter anyway? Is it coincidence? Or was it meant to be? 'Cause there's something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Conversation with you was like a drug. It wasn't your face as much as it was your words. 'Cause there's something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Well, I can't stick around, 'cause I'm heading back south. But all I regret is I never kissed your mouth. 'Cause there's something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Well, that's the start of the show, folks. Kelsey, come on in. This is going to be great. Fun to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, gosh, this is great. I can't believe it. After all of this discussion about you coming over and talking about fear ball, and here you are.
Here we are.
So, kind of introduce yourself to the world. What have you been doing with your life? How did you find yourself here in Ephraim?
That's a loaded question. So I grew up in the Milwaukee area, Germantown to be specific. And my aunt and uncle bought a cottage here in Ephraim in 2008, I believe, 2009. And that's when my brother was a freshman in college. And instead of going home for the summer, they offered that he could stay at the cottage and work up in Door County, which is obviously a much better gig than going home for the summer. So 3 years later, I then followed in his footsteps when I was in college. So spent summers up here working at Wilson's in Ephraim Classic. I think everybody in Ephraim has worked there at some time or another. And so I worked at Wilson's for 4 years and then moved up to the Sister Bay Bowl. And then I actually moved out to Boston for a handful of years.
Boston.
Do
you pronounce it Boston? Or
I did while
Boston?
I was there.
Yeah.
You grow on it.
You weren't a Patriots fan.
No. Bruins was the only team I could rooted for, but that's because we don't have a hockey team. So I said Bruins I can cheer for. Everything else.
Reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. I was out there when two very exciting days when when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, which was just fun and exciting.
Right.
But arguably more exciting was when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And that was one of the best days living in Boston because it was
Now,
a sight to be seen.
Did you see people shedding tears?
Oh, the bars were empty. People went home. Everyone
Oh.
left. People were grown men were crying in the bar. They take their football very seriously.
A little too serious.
Yeah, in Green Bay we take it, in Wisconsin we take it seriously but still lighthearted.
Right.
They take it seriously.
Yeah.
So yeah, they all went home crying and very upset.
Yeah,
but it was entertaining for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could look
And I was there when Tom Brady announced that he was leaving, which was also what a day.
Really?
What a day
Yeah,
to
I
work
think
at a
you're still
sports
kinda
bar.
recovering from that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then I moved back here in the summer of 2020 and have been here since.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Well, and you've been with the Ephraim Business Council now for what, year and a half? Or
Yeah,
so?
just about a year and a half. Mm-hmm.
Great. How do you like it?
Love it. So it's different than I thought. When I was living in Boston, I was event managing for a distillery. And so I kind of got into the world of events that way. But Sarah Martin here at Wilson, she really, once she knows you, if she likes you, she will never let you go.
Ah, yeah.
And so Sarah texted and called me dozens of times trying to get me to do this job. And I finally, after months and months, gave in. I was a little worried about it, but it ended up being the absolute best case scenario. And I am very grateful for her for making me do this job.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. It's well, and gosh, Sarah, she's done so much for the EBC that frankly, I think she's probably going to get some chieftain votes.
I think we think she might be too young now, but Sarah's definitely, her time is coming.
So wait a minute, there is an actual age?
There's not an age, but there's kind of there's an unwritten age that I think most Ephraim residents usually take account for. Now, there's not an age. There have been young chieftains for sure. Okay. And I do think Sarah Martin is up there on that list for young chieftains. Absolutely. So if people want to,
this endorsement.
Yeah, I mean, the EBC does not endorse, campaigns. Absolutely not. But I think she'd be a pretty good chieftain nonetheless.
Well, I think she really deserves it. She's done such a great job with the EBC in real tumultuous times. It's not, over the last couple of years, it's been a different kind of organization, but still represents the business community here in Ephraim real well. And she would be deserving.
Definitely.
Yeah. But that's great that you got involved with all of this. Because in these organizations, a lot of people just take it for granted. That,
absolutely.
The stuff just kind of gets done, but it doesn't just get done. It's a lot of hard work and diligent planning. And as I recall, when the street got closed, there were some businesses that were a little bummed out about that.
I've heard that. Yeah, that was before my time, but
lucky you.
Yeah. But yeah, when Ephraim no longer became dry, when they started allowing beer, the village decided that the only safe way to allow beer at the festival was to close the road, which was it was a change for people. Because Fearball, that was never the kind of festival Fearball was. Fearball never, number one, had beer, but number two, closed the whole downtown. So Fearball has definitely changed a little bit since, but I think it has changed for the better. And there were growing pains. And then obviously without having a festival for a couple of years, people kind of forgot what that was going to be like. But then coming back last year, I think we really kind of worked out a lot of those kinks. So for the most part, I think people are pretty excited about it. And it really does just promote a much better festival and just event experience in general for people coming downtown. It's so much safer for our vendors, for the people who are attending the events. And people are still totally welcome to go to all businesses. And the road really only closes for 4 or 5 blocks downtown. So there's still plenty of room for people to come downtown and see our businesses that maybe aren't directly downtown. So on our north end of Ephraim and all the way through. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
no, that's great. And to tell us a little bit about kind of the history of Fear Ball. It's been going on now since when? It's the
So this is 57th this year.
57th.
Yep.
Now, do we have a handle on all 57? Well, tell me a little bit more.
Yeah,
about
so
what
we
Fear Ball
don't
is all
know
about.
year number 1. We don't have the exact year down. We know it was more than 57 years ago because they had paused it for a few years for wars and such, is what Cody at the Historical Foundation has told me. So he said that it's not an exact, 57 years, but that's how many festivals we've done. So yeah, Fear Ball started as a Norwegian tradition. It's not something that we came up with here. It is a Norwegian festival and event. We're one of the few places in the country that celebrates Fear Ball, which is the Norwegian celebration of spring into summer. So it's the summer solstice, and it's welcoming the start of summer with longer days. So it's exciting.
You sure it's not Swedish?
I've been told Norwegian.
What about Icelandic?
I think they're all.
See, all
I'm
of
sure
that
they all
just-
celebrate a similar
It
event.
just confuses me. I don't like their flags. I don't understand their flags. They're all very.
They're very similar.
They're too similar.
Very
Yeah,
similar, but they take them.
they
They
actually-
differentiate themselves
they do, and they kind of sound the same, don't they?
a little
You know,
bit.
when they're- yeah. But I do like the.
But we have a
Norwegian
lot of
thing.
that
The
heritage here,
Norwegian.
no matter what, So we have a lot of the Swedish, German, Norwegian.
Yeah.
We have Danish. We have a lot of people up here.
Danish, yes,
Tons of them.
Yes, they're all over. I'm Irish.
There we
and
go.
There really aren't that many of us up
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I'm a select few of the folks up here. But I particularly, there are several things about Fear Ball that I really, really love. And I love the fires around the harbor.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the main bonfire for Fear Ball, which is what Fear Ball is, it's Fear Ball means fireball in Norwegian.
Right.
So the bonfire is the culmination of the event for a reason. So here in town, our fire department, they spend 24 hours building a massive, it's between 15 and 20 feet tall. It's a huge bonfire here on the shore. But the cool thing that has happened over the years is that basically most property owners who, people who own property along Eagle Harbor, they all kind of build their own bonfires. So obviously not most, I shouldn't say obviously, because most of them are not as tall as our one downtown. Most of them do them at more of a safe height. But it's really cool to see. So we light our bonfire. Our chieftain lights our bonfire. So the chieftain gets escorted over to our bonfire by the Viking boys. And then the chieftain will light the bonfire. And then shortly thereafter, you'll see fires kind of all along the shore.
So it's a beautiful sight. Tell us a little bit more about what constitutes, what traits do people have to become the chieftain, to become elected as the chieftain?
So you have to be an Ephraim resident.
Okay.
There you go. That's basically the one qualifier.
Nobody
But
wants me to chieftain.
I don't know about that. But you have to be an Ephraim
You mean
resident.
I've gotten votes?
Not yet. I've only done one though, so maybe before that. But
it's
we-
cute that you said that, but no, I know, yeah, it's fine.
again, there's kind of an age limit, maybe in a few years.
That's very nice. I am an AARP member. I appreciate you saying that. Younger.
But
Yes,
so
yeah,
it's an
sorry.
Ephraim resident who has put their work in, put their time in here in the Ephraim community. So traditionally, it's been a lot of people have volunteered a lot of their time to the village of Ephraim. So it doesn't have to be a lifelong resident, but it's somebody who lives here in Ephraim and has spent a lot of their time devoting themselves to Ephraim and really helping what creates the beauty of Ephraim here. So we have so many wonderful, clubs and organizations, and so people that have been active in those usually, or just people who kind of live and breathe Ephraim. We have so many of those here. We're very fortunate here in Ephraim as opposed to, some other places in Door County. We, our Ephraim residents are very proud to be Ephraim residents.
Indeed.
So
we Ephraimites? Is it
sure.
Okay.
Ephraimanians?
Ephraimians?
Maybe?
I like that a little bit better. Yeah, that's good. Well, Hal Halverson is a neighbor of mine, and he's also a past chieftain.
Sure.
And I always get a kick out of the stage when the chieftain comes in from the water, and the Fear Ball boys, the young guys.
Yep, the Vikings.
The Vikings. They escort them to the stage, and then you have all the previous
chieftain
chieftain folks lining the little palisade there as the people are walking up. It's neat. It's a neat.
It's a really
thing.
special event, and it's cool because there are obviously thousands, or I should say hundreds of people there who they don't know who the chieftain is. They don't know these people,
Right.
but they can still appreciate the ceremony of it because it's so cool. Tom Shooter, who's a local gentleman, he did a great job last year. He's done it for years before as well, and he is our little MC for the event. So he puts a wonderful speech together in honor of the chieftain, and it's just really wonderful. You kind of see the fireboat. You can see the fireboat start leading in the water, and once you see the fireboat, then everyone's heads are like, who's on the boat? Who's on the boat? Who's on the boat? So it's exciting. And then the Viking boys lead the chieftain up to the stage, and it's really special. We light the torch, and then the chieftain carries the torch across the road to light the bonfire. So it's very exciting.
So just to kind of back up and kind of put a little shell on all of this, the day kind of starts with the book at the library with the book sale.
Well, actually, new this year is we're even going to rewind further, and we're going to go to Friday.
Oh, nice.
So Friday this year, Colin Welford and friends are doing 3 free concerts at the Moravian Church, and they're celebrating our Norwegian and Germanic heritage. And
so I'm not invited. Is that?
You're definitely invited.
Well,
Everybody's. You don't have to be from there to appreciate the heritage, but it's going to be wonderful. There's going to be a lot of songs and storytelling and folklore. And it's going to be a wonderful event. So he's offering those at 2, 4, and 7 o'clock on Friday to kind of kick off the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely new.
Yeah, very new, very exciting. And then the day starts on Saturday morning with pancake breakfast from the Ephraim Yacht Club, which is at the Village Hall, and then the book sale from the library, which is right outside the Village Hall.
I've had people come specifically for the book sale because
it's wonderful, isn't it?
It is. It's really great.
Yeah.
And
they do. The library committee does such a great job. I was just at their last meeting, and they put so much time and thought and effort and preparation into it. It's amazing. Yeah. I was just like, you put books on a table, and no, they do way more work than that.
They do. And the people that come and participate and purchase those books, they're into it.
It's amazing.
It's an annual event for them to come.
They do such a great job. And then we also shortly thereafter starts our pet parade at 9 o'clock, which our pet parade meets at the Edgewater Resort. They have a lawn right on Eagle Harbor there. That is, we meet at 8:30 to register your pet. Okay. All pets are welcome. Whether that's mostly dogs, but you can have cows or cats or turtles or whatever you want to be.
I'm going to say, the deer come up here, and I talk to the deer because I don't like them eating stuff. And so I just ask them politely not to, but I feel like they're pets, and I think I could.
If you put a leash on it, no problem.
That's it.
You got to have a leash on it.
Okay. All right. This could be something I might jump on that this year. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah, so we have different judging categories, and so the pets the pets and their owners parade from the Edgewater Resort down to the Village Hall. So it's not too long of a parade, but some of those animals have little legs, so it's plenty long.
And I'm sure people are going to dress them up. And
definitely. Yeah, so there is a best dressed category for judging. So you are encouraged to dress up your pet.
Sure.
So it's very exciting. Then the other categories are best personality, which they all have their own personality,
including the owners.
Exactly. And then the grand prize is for the best in show, which is our classic, pet pageant award there.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's really great. I don't think the deer would cooperate with me for.
Probably not. Yeah. But you can try.
But I do. And honestly, maybe for next year, I know you guys have gotten so many things planned and everything, but I always find it interesting when people who own pets, all of a sudden they start to kind of look like their pet.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
We did that last year. We did an owner pet lookalike as part of the pet parade. Yeah, but that was one of our judging contests.
Let's not talk about who
we didn't. Yeah, we didn't have too many entrances into that category, but the people who were entered, they did a good job.
Nice.
It was tough competition.
I bet. It's weird how that works. You love your pet, and all of a sudden,
kind of.
So that's cool. And then there's going to be So after the pet parade, there's some
then the
other
activities
events
start. We have the entire day is packed.
yeah.
So immediately after, we have the ice cream eating contest at Wilson's,
That's always fun.
because 10 a.m. is the perfect time to eat a pint of ice cream.
Why not?
But if you've never seen it before, do I encourage it? It is both the most disgusting thing you've ever seen and the coolest all in one.
I think the hot dog thing takes the cake.
We don't do the hot dogs, but yeah.
But ice cream,
the ice cream it's interesting, but we do a few. They have 3 different categories. So they have a children's category, which that one's much more entertaining. It's just kids who are very excited to get to eat ice cream at 10 a.m. They're like,
Sure.
Most kids are just shocked that they're allowed to eat ice cream at 10 in the morning.
Right.
And then there's kind of the teenage category, which that gets competitive, but then the adult category is the 18 over. They take it seriously. Last year was really interesting. There were actually multiple people who because we hadn't had Fear Ball in a few years, there were multiple past winners who came back. And one of them was a father and son. They both had won in past years. They were both very sure that each of them was going to win. And then the father actually won. So dad won the contest last year. It was crazy to see.
You got to figure that the guy and the gal who lost that were really into it, their car ride back home
not fun.
Was,
no, it's not fun. You're eating a pint of ice cream in 25-30 seconds.
Oh, no kidding.
It's gross.
that doesn't okay.
But again, it's entertaining to see. Yeah. And the Wilsons has been doing it for, I can't even tell you how long Wilson's has been doing that. Right. So it's definitely a very honored part of the day. Yeah. And I love that that's one of the first events, because it's a hilarious morning activity. But yeah, we have so many fun things. And then after the ice cream eating contest, everything kind of kicks off. So our vendors open up. We have tons and tons of really awesome artisan vendors and food vendors. So that's really exciting. We have a few craft demonstrations. We have a wooden shoe carver in Harborside Park. We have a glass blower in Harborside Park, which will be really cool. Yeah. And then we have the Open Door Bird Sanctuary will be there as well with some of their very large birds. Yeah. So you can kind of see those, and they do a really great job interacting with them. So that's really fun too. So, I mean, there's just so much fun and exciting stuff. And then we have some music going on during the day. Yeah, we have 2 live bands, and then we have a DJ who he is just a champion. His name is Michael Ray, and he plays from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Right. And he's just there all day jamming, and he's awesome. And he helps us keep the day rolling. So there's always music. There's always something going on.
It is a really nice day, and there's such a varied number of activities to do.
So many activities,
and it's all focused on Ephraim, which is really nice.
Absolutely.
We just keep our fingers crossed that the weather's great, but there have been times when the weather hasn't been great. It's still a lot of fun to get together.
We're lucky that we still have Village Hall, and so if it rains, we put as many things inside Village Hall as we can. The day doesn't get canceled. We still just kind of shift, and there's still so much fun. I mean, we have so many wonderful family-friendly activities. We have the chance to make your own medallions. So you can make your own Fear Ball medallion, which is so exciting. And new last year was a make your own flower crown, which was just so awesome. We did it. It was early afternoon. And then you kind of just saw people wearing them all day, which was really cool. So we're bringing that back again this year, which we're very happy about. There's t-shirt decorating, and there's balloon artists and Disney princesses. And, there's so much stuff packed all day.
From, what is, I've forgotten the 2 gals that do the Disney stuff, man, they are picture perfect.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They've been doing it for years, and they just are phenomenal.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. So we're excited to have the princesses, and then we have a children's musician who will be playing over at Ephraim Shores. They are nice enough to kind of donate their lawn for the day. So Ephraim Shores kind of becomes the children's activity haven. That's where we kind of set everything up over there. And we have a musician that plays. And even last year I was just like, oh, children's musician, cool. And then I went over there excited to, bring something at some point. And I was listening to him for like 15 minutes. I was like, this guy's awesome. But he got everybody involved, and everyone's singing and dancing and handing out egg shakers and stuff to everybody. So it was so much fun. Kazoos are plenty.
Nice. Kazoos are classic.
Yeah. So he did a really wonderful job. So we're excited to have him back too.
And then it all culminates with fireworks.
But new this year, After the bonfire, before the fireworks, we're excited. We have fire performers coming in this year.
Wow.
So we
Very
are
cool.
so excited about that. It's these
Yeah.
wonderful, this wonderful team out of Appleton. They're coming up and they kind of just do that like street performing style, you know, where
Sure.
they breathe fire and all that kind of cool stuff. So they're going to
Cool
put
for them.
cool for them. And I asked Justin, who's the fire chief here in Ephraim, because I wanted his approval first.
Absolutely.
And I said, Justin, how do you feel about this? Are you sure? And he goes, the fire truck's already downtown. So what's
Right.
the worst that can happen?
Right. And hopefully these people are professionals. So
They sure are.
what it's
Yeah.
like to put out the fire.
Yeah.
But
So no,
that's really neat.
we're really excited. So they'll do a half-hour performance that will actually lead directly into our fireworks show. So the fire performers and the fireworks are going to be paired up there. So it's going to be really cool end of the event. So I'm beyond excited. It's new this year, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, no, that's really it's fun. It's timely. And it does kind of harken back to the Norwegian festivals of old. You know, they had the jesters, right? I mean,
absolutely.
The people were.
Yep.
I think. I mean, I've seen movies and stuff. I never really.
You didn't go to them.
Yeah. But it does kind of make sense. But,
Yeah.
I like the fireworks simply because it's really kind of the kickoff for the summer.
It is.
Really, we kind of display the first fireworks.
It is.
In the northern door.
Yeah, it's an exciting start. So we don't do a 4th of July celebration or anything here in Ephraim. We pretty much just do Fear Ball. That's our summer party.
Yeah.
Is Fear Ball. So, and yes, Fear Ball is kind of as you know, most locals up here know, kind of that kickoff to the summer season, because a lot of kids are still in school those first couple weeks of June. So Fear Ball is usually it's usually that kickoff to the summer, which is exciting, and it's fun to have, and it's 57 years now. So
that's really
it's cool that it's still rolling.
I got to tell you, it's been great having you here. Before we get going here, though, I did want to just, I wanted you to touch on what's happening in the parking lot of the Red Putter.
Absolutely.
This is a new thing that I've gotten wind of. Everybody knows about it. It's been publicized, but tell us more about this. It's really a fun market event.
So excited about this. So for years now, actually, I think they started evenings in Ephraim. You might know about 10 years ago, I think 9-10 years ago. So they started evenings in Ephraim, which is our Monday evening concert series in Harborside Park, which is downtown. So we've been doing that for about 10 years now. And we've always called it Evenings in Ephraim just to kind of encourage people to come and spend their night here. But that was also always kind of it. It was just kind of the concert, and that was that. So we expanded upon that this year. Really, we're giving people a reason to spend their Monday evenings in Ephraim. And we added a new event. It's called Bonde Market. And Bonde Market is the Norwegian word for farmer's market. See, it's their Norwegian heritage.
Yeah. Did you do a babble or anything like that to kind of a little bit more of
I tested the name. I didn't do that, but I definitely, it took me a while to figure out a name. We figured that one out. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I did do some research, but I haven't actually talked to any Norwegian people, so I don't know if I'm saying it right.
You know what? I bet they're going to show up if you
probably, and they'll correct me.
Yeah. And they have different garb too, I think.
Yeah.
Norwegians typically wear interesting clothes.
Yeah. But so we're excited about the market. So we're very excited. So that's Monday evenings from 4 to 7 p.m.
And so to be clear, there's food, or is it artisan activity?
Both.
Okay.
So it's both. So we have, number one, what I'm very excited about is Sergio's taco truck.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have a food truck up there. If you haven't had Sergio's yet, you just be excited. He's amazing.
Sergio's is usually at the golf course.
At the Peninsula State Park Golf Course.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's coming down or coming up to Ephraim on Monday night. So we're really excited about that. And then we have Selly's Produce out of Sturgeon Bay. So you'll still be able to get your fresh veggies.
Yeah.
We have Door County Wildwood Market. So they have a lot of spices and canned goods and baked goods and things like that. Sweetie Pies from Fish Creek will be there with fresh pies.
Wonderful stuff.
Oh my God, amazing. And then we just have some really awesome artisan vendors. So we have birdhouses and candles and jewelry and all sorts of things. Now the market is going to be small. We're having about 8 to 12 vendors. So it's going to be small. It's year one. We definitely wanted to keep it manageable. So I'm excited though. It's going to be a really interesting mix of people, and we have just really, really cool stuff coming. So I'm very excited about it. So that's Monday evenings.
Monday evenings, 4 to 6.
4 to 7. Yep. 4 to 7. And then you head downtown for the concert.
You know what's really cool too? Once we get this whole sidewalk deal done.
Oh my gosh, can't wait.
So great for people. And I know I tease everybody about it, and I have several different campaigns that I'm initiating, one of which has fallen completely flat on its face, and that is to call North Ephraim uptown. It's North Ephraim. We all know that. My other campaign is that I don't like necessarily saying to people, hey, I'm going to go to the pig. I would rather say I'm going to the grocery store.
Okay.
But of course, you know, we have a Piggly Wiggly here.
Yeah, people love the pig.
It's always the pig.
It's the name.
I know. I
think you might die on both those hills.
You know,
I don't think you're winning either battle,
you're
but
exactly right.
I appreciate the effort nonetheless.
Well, you know, it's winters are long. You know, there's lots to think about while we're here. But hey, I ask everybody this.
Sure. What
is your favorite hike in one of our beautiful state parks?
Oh, that is a great question. So there are two now. There's one. There's there's one that you don't always want to say. It's like it's kind of because it's like that's my trail. But I'd say my number 2 trail is Hotz. I think Hotz up in on Europe Lake. Yeah, I think it's awesome. That is one of my favorites, and it's an easy hike, only a couple little hills, but you get to be right on the water for most of it. So there's a few good swimming spots on those really hot hiking days. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Otherwise, honestly, and this one, and I don't like saying it because it's hard to get to, but Rock Island. I love hiking up on Rock Island. I try to get up there at least once a summer. And, even if camping there's incredible, but if you don't camp, you take the first ferry there and the last ferry back and you can hike all day. It's amazing. Absolutely. Sit on the beach. It's perfect.
So the neat thing about Hotz that I really like is, when you take that little off trail and you're right on the shoreline.
Yep.
The waves have eroded up underneath, and you're
as you're
hiking, you're kind of on this hollow.
Yeah.
Here, there's nothing underneath you kind of thing. It's a little disconcerting, but it's still
cool.
A beautiful spot.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And usually pretty quiet. So it's nice. And the water's so nice up there. Yeah. So that's where I like to be for sure.
Excellent. That's good. That's good. I really appreciate it because it's not a standard.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people go straight to the
Eagle Trail.
Thank you. I love Eagle Trail. Do not get me wrong. It is
absolutely
one of the most spectacular trails around. And the thing that I really like also about Eagle Trail is that in the late winter, the water that's seeping out of that bluff is warm.
Yeah.
And so there are plants that are already going. They're already engaged.
It starts everything. I also really enjoy the Ephraim Land Trust property up here on Anderson. It's a real quick little hike. It doesn't take too long. But it's beautiful. The pond is gorgeous, and usually the wildflowers are incredible. And there's also the Historical Foundation, I believe, has done a really good job putting some history posts out there, so you can actually read about Anderson House and stuff like that. So that's a great, very easy hike.
They have old remnants of the farmstead there.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
People might look at that and say, hey, look at that rusted piece of equipment. Whereas I look at it and say, wow,
that's where we came from.
A little spot of history.
I know.
Right here.
They made the town. It's pretty cool.
You want to sing a song?
Nope.
You don't want to?
No.
Okay. I respect that. But I like asking. So for everybody out there in TV land, this poster is, and among others, are going to be really prominent throughout
everywhere.
Ephraim and Northern Door here coming up, because on the 17th of June is when Fear Ball is going to be. So certainly, if you haven't made your arrangements to come on up, I would encourage it. It's a really nice weekend. So, but we've run out of time. It always happens this way, and I don't have a specific song, so I'm just gonna.
That's all right.
Let me tell you a little bit about the weather. Kids, I love you. The weather tomorrow is going to be probably exactly as it is right now today, which is hot, too hot to handle. But Kelsey Stone, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And we'll get this all squared away, but we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Cool. So let me just click this over here and we'll